Hey everyone, I'm Grant and welcome back to the channel. While I'm waiting on the new adapter so I can hook up the AW4 4-speed automatic to my BEW TDI to arrive, which is still going to be a couple of weeks out, I'm going to be working on tackling other things on my TJ Wrangler that I just never stopped long enough to fix. And one of those things are the headlights. Now, admittedly, when I first bought my TJ Wrangler, I went on Amazon and got a set, admittedly the cheapest set of DOT legal LED headlights, and these were it. Now they are super bright, but as you will see in a second, they are the kind of lights that really just piss off every other driver on the road. I mean, these things are blinding, and this is on the low setting. If you put them on brights, they're even more obnoxious. And I really don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they illuminate the road at night. I know I'm blinding other people, and especially if it's raining or something, it will just reflect right back on me. So what I happened across last summer when I thought this was closer to completion than it currently is I found these LED headlights from Holley called RetroBright. And the thing I really got excited about is you could buy the warmth color of the headlight, and I think they have 3 different colors. I went with the classic yellow, but the other thing I'm excited about is these look like traditional headlights. So the other thing I'm going to be doing at the same time is replacing this bucket. This bucket's actually broken on my driver's side and it just rattles around. I got a factory used but good condition replacement off of eBay, so we'll be installing this at the same time. The other thing I want to do is only replace one headlight, turn them back on so we compare how they look with one of each light installed. So I'm going to get to work.
Using a T15 Torx bit screwdriver, I removed the 3 bolts holding the bezel to the front grille around the headlight. Using an 8mm socket with an extension, I removed the 3 nuts holding the headlight bucket to the grille. With all the fasteners undone, I pulled the headlight out of the front grille. Using the same T15 screwdriver, I removed the retaining ring from my used but good headlight bucket. There are alignment spots, and this is what aligns and holds the headlight in place to the bucket. Man, that looks good. With the Holley RetroBright headlight seated in the headlight bucket correctly, I reinstalled the retaining ring. First feeding the pigtail through the hole in the back of the grille, I then reinstalled the headlight assembly while also putting 1 nut to hold the headlight bucket in place on the grille. Making sure to reattach all the ground wires, I then proceed to reinstall and tighten all the 8mm nuts to the back of the headlight bucket. Last thing I had to do was reinstall the headlight bezel and put in the 3 T15 Torx bolts.
Alright, let's see how the new Holley RetroBright headlights look compared to the cheap LED headlights I had gotten off of Amazon years ago. That instantly looks better. Okay, I want to see what it looks like with the lights off. Yeah. That looks, I like that so much better. Oh, that's interesting. Here, I want to put it on high real quick to see how it looks on high. I'm going to move the camera real quick and show you how it looks like on my wall, which I realize is not the greatest example, but let's see if you can see this. This over here is that nice warm glow. This is what I consider a normal headlight. And over here is the super bright blinding headlight which unfortunately is what most new cars come with today. I really like how warm this light looks over here. Let me turn on the brights real quick. Okay, now you can kind of see it. The way this cheap LED is, it overpowers even what the other light is doing because it just throws light everywhere. Whereas if I can kind of block this off, you can see how nice the spread is of the light pattern with just the Holley RetroBright. That looks so good. The other interesting thing about it is when I'm taking pictures of it, the Holley RetroLight headlight looks like the whole lens is illuminated in my camera. But on the cheap LED headlights that I've gotten years ago from Amazon, you can see where the lights still are in that headlight assembly, which I find very interesting.
For my other headlight, I'm going to install it without removing the headlight bucket, so I first remove the bezel from the front grille. Next, I start removing the 4 T15 screws that hold the retaining ring to the headlight bucket. With the retaining ring removed, I then remove the headlight and unplug the pigtail from the harness. Installing the Holley RetroBright headlight is a reverse order of everything I just did, so I first plug in the harness. I then position the Holley RetroBright headlight in the bucket so it's seated correctly. The trick here is getting the ring installed without letting the headlight fall out of the bucket. It took me a couple of tries, but once you get one of those T15 screws in, installing the rest of them becomes much easier. After double checking that all the T15 screws are tightened correctly, I then reinstall the headlight bezel to the front grille.
Alright, I'm going to turn off the lights in the shop again. I am really happy with the way these turned out. Actually, here, let me move the camera so you can see how they illuminate the wall. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. I mean, and these are bright, but they're not blinding. So, I mean, I could imagine, you know, if I was in another car and someone's driving my Jeep and I'm driving toward them, these are bright, but they're not going to blind me like the other LED headlights I had would have. So, let's see how they look on bright. Yeah, it's just, everything has a nice warm glow, and what I liked is the beams were just a little bit higher now, and I will say, I will need to adjust these beams. There are other things I'm going to be doing to this Wrangler where I need to readjust the beams so they are adjusted correctly when I'm driving on the road. But even on bright, and I have very sensitive eyes, these are not blinding. They're bright, but I could drive past this and not be blinded by these headlights, which is exactly what I was hoping for. And I really like how warm of a color these are. They just did exactly what I was hoping for. Alright everyone, that's all I have for this video. I love the way these Holley RetroBright headlights look. It's everything I was hoping for when I was looking for a replacement LED headlight for my TJ Wrangler. I wanted classic looks, but I didn't want that bright sterile white color to illuminate the road at night because it blinds other people. I really like how warm this color is. It's a very vintage look with modern technology, and I am thrilled with it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.